Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Guys, I'm Scott with FootballScoop. We've got Zach Barnett, Doug Samuels as well. An interesting debate erupted this morning out of nowhere on the Twitter. So the context here is the NFL owners voted earlier this week to reduce overtime from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. I happen to think college football overtime is pretty outstanding. Both teams get a crack. They get the exact same crack. You know what's on the line, and you got to stop them. The NFL overtime is a little bit different. The receiving team has the opportunity to score a touchdown. If they do, they win. If they do not, if they get a field goal, the other team gets the ball, and then it's basically you have to tie or beat them from there, or else you lose if you don't score in that possession, I think. I don't know how changing anything from 15 minutes to 10 minutes matters. But more importantly, and the reason why we're here today is because our good friend Zach Barnett airs his belief that overtime should simply be abolished. All right, Zach, the stage is yours, my friend. Talk to me.
I'm on an island, and I'm happy to be on this island, but I think the idea is that the win is the most important, most precious commodity in sports, and I like that I prefer that it needs to be earned rather than handed out by default because someone has to win. I think the idea that you play a full 60 minutes, you have the same amount of points as the other guy. Well, neither one of you was better than the other today, so you're both going to go home with a tie. And that's the story of this game because that's how the game played out. You were equally as good as each other, so why not remember that for the rest of the season that neither one of you beat the other one.
Doug, would you like an opportunity to have a few words here?
I mean, I think Zach's first sentence is, everyone's gunning for the win and wants to go home for the win is exactly right. And every coach, every competitor, every player goes into the game wanting to walk away with the win, and to walk away with a tie is going to leave everyone with a terrible, terrible taste in their mouth that you just can't get rid of. So
I agree.
For guys that and coaches that pour it all on the line all week to prepare for it, leave it all on the field for those 60 minutes, and you're still at a deadlock, you got to dig deep in order to go to the overtime and get the win. Is I think what sports is all about. You got to dig deep, find something inside yourself, and keep battling. If you go home with a tie, no one's happy except Zach. That's it.
Zach, in your opinion, what's the downside?
Well, people to respond to that, people were throwing at me the somehow that giving away, having a tie is somehow an indictment of trophy culture, which my response to that was that nobody wants a tie. A tie is not, a desired result by anybody. Nobody's happy going away with the tie. So nobody's going to say, all right, let's go for the tie. Let's go for a tie and be happy. You're going to go for a win, but the idea is you weren't better than them. They weren't better than you. So why should we, change the rules to turn football into something that it isn't, which is what, I like the college overtime better than the NFL overtime, but we can't deny that it's a different version of football than what you play the other 60 minutes. So why not say, all right, we wanted to be better than them. We weren't. They wanted to be better than us. We weren't. We were equal today. So let's remember that this game is we were equal today, and we go home as equals.
College football players, college football fans, they absolutely they go bonkers when, Arkansas inevitably every year goes into a 5 overtime game. And it's the type of thing the players, the coaches, and the fans remember the rest of their lives, the drama involved in every overtime. I love it. And I love the fact that it's equal. Both teams have the exact same opportunity. You're the 25, go score. If you can't score, the other team might beat you, or your defense has to man up and give you another shot to win the game. I love that. And I prefer that over the NFL. I think a lot of people do. And I understand what you're saying, Zach. It's a different form or a different objective, perhaps, rather than your traditional go win the game, like the NFL plays. But gosh, I mean, it's a game, right?
Yeah,
we're having so much fun. We love playing to win. Why take that away?
Well, I don't think it takes the playing to win strategy away. I think There are lots of great overtime moments, but I think if everyone went into it knowing that when the clock hit 0 in the fourth quarter, the game's over, that would create a lot of interesting moments on its own. Imagine the drama if it's 28-21 in the Iron Bowl, Auburn's down 7 and driving with, a minute and a half left, and everybody's wondering, all right, what's Gus going to do when they score? Is he going to go for the tie? Is he going to go for the win? So Auburn scores, now it's 28-27. We're going to know everything we will ever need to know about Gus Malzahn as a coach right here, where if he goes for the tie or goes for the win. I mean, it's different than the overtime drama. Overtime, there's lots of great overtime moments, but I think that right there, would itself be a great moment. The article that I tweeted brought up, the 83 Orange Bowl in Miami, Nebraska. Tom Osborne, could have kicked an extra point and settled for a tie with Miami and won the national championship, but he chose to go for 2. They didn't get it. They lost the national championship, but, Tom Osborne won a lot of respect for people. That's one of the most remembered moments of college football from that decade. If they go to overtime, maybe, it's still obviously a great game, but it's probably not remembered today, 30, 35 years later, like it was, knowing that he went for the win when he didn't have to.
All right, Doug, you're a current offense coordinator in high school, coaching up in Michigan. What would you tell your kids if they changed the rules and said, all right, we're just not going to have overtime anymore?
I'd probably get with the other coach and be like, hey, you want to meet us out at our field? We'll turn on the lights and let's settle this thing, because no one wants to end the game in a tie. It's just not real life. Like in life, you go for a job interview and it's not like, all right, there's a tie, we're going to pay both of you. Or if you're competing to find a girlfriend or a wife, there's no ties. There's no ties for parking spots. Like, ties aren't real life. There's a winner and a loser in everything you do, and that's what coaches tell their kids all the time in order to compete and get the best out of everyone. So, ties just aren't real life to me. It's living in a fantasy world that doesn't exist.
All right, I got 2 things to close this out. First of all, I think the way we got to this point where we started this morning was Zach sent out a link to it's a Penn Live article by David Jones, and he's got an outstanding quote in there. This is from 1948 from Navy's athletic director, Rip Miller. Said, after a 21-21 tie versus Army, oh, goodness, just like kissing your sister with your best girl standing by. Oh, kissing your sister. Oh gosh, that's just that.
I like the line that David Jones closes with is, a tie is like kissing your sister, but maybe you didn't deserve a sexier kiss.
Oh no, Zach. God. Oh, sorry, Zach. I'm sorry.
Before we wrap this up, I want you to think back to a game this past fall, big rivalry game. Michigan and Ohio State end in a tie, 31-31. How's that leave everyone feeling?
Okay, I'll remember the Brady Hoax last game at Michigan. They were down 42-41 to Ohio State, and they could have gone for overtime, but instead he chose to go for 2. They didn't get it. They lost, but he put it all out there on the line. Didn't come up short, but he put it all. How great would that be if, that happened every single close game, every single, overtime-like game? I think it'd be great.
It would have been better if he kicked the field goal and they went to overtime, so.
All right, can we all agree on one thing? College overtime system is far better than the NFL overtime system.
No question.
I agree there.
God bless
They should move back to the 40 from the 25, but I agree it's better than the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you might move back a little bit. I agree. Make it a little bit more challenging than a 42-yarder if they don't advance at all. All right, gentlemen, thank you for your time today. Let's go have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you.